Kisses for My President from 1964. A woman president? What is this, the future? Theme song.
Kyle's Reviews! Kyle's Reviews!
If you want to watch Kisses for My President, well, good luck finding it because it's not streaming anywhere and I couldn't even find it on most of the pirate sites I look at. Well, so why did I pick this? Well, during the COVID lockdown, the game show channel Buzzer was airing a bunch of their old black and white shows on Twitch. I got in the habit of watching them. One of my favorites was Polly Bergen, who was a panelist on To Tell the Truth. And so I've actually watched a couple of her movies she was in. The first one I watched, though, called Half a Hero. She's only in one scene, like the main characters go to a nightclub and she's singing there. The other one was a Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis movie called At the War with the Army. And she's only like in 2 or 3 scenes. So I picked this one because, hey, she's the president, so she's got to be the star. No, I was wrong. The film starts off right away with the inauguration of Polly Bergen's character as the first female president. And I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised that there weren't a lot of jokes about, ooh, a woman president, what? And there are scenes where she's seen as smart and capable. She's negotiating with this sort of South American dictator and she's not having any of it.
But I am aware that Valdez is a dictator who inherited his office when his father was assassinated. I am also aware that his relatives hold every major government position, in a complete exclusion of democracy.
Unfortunately, she's not really the star. The star is Fred MacMurray, who plays her husband. We get to see him adapting to being the first gentleman and all the hijinks that ensue with that. The problem is the plot's pretty thin. There's really sort of 2 main plots with MacMurray. And then there's the overall plot of the family, because they have 2 kids, getting used to being in the White House. And the 2 plots with MacMurray are the South American dictator, because Fred MacMurray's character is bored. They're like, hey, why don't you take him around Washington? Give him a tour. Well, he, of course, has like this fancy sports car. And he wants to go to a burlesque club, and Fred MacMurray's character ends up punching him. So there is stuff like that. Then there's also a subplot of a ex-girlfriend of MacMurray.
What a surprise.
It's been a long time.
How sweet of you to remember me after all these years.
Are you kidding? How could I ever forget the torrid love of my madcap youth?
Who now runs a cosmetics company. And she tries to seduce him.
Doris.
What's wrong?
Well, nothing's wrong.
And he rejects her. But then he goes back, talks to her again. It's like, what's going on? And then she's like, oh, we're got a male cosmetics line. Why don't you come and run it? And it becomes clear that she's just using him as a figurehead to get publicity. It's not very funny. I mean, there are wacky scenes of like when they first get into the White House, Fred MacMurray gets lost and he runs into a tour group while he's wearing his pajamas.
History of the Middle Colonies.
This room has been the scene of many splendid events. Presidential weddings have taken place.
Well, isn't this nice?
Bergen is a straight one for most of it. Then there's the end. So spoilers for what, 61-year-old movie? So near the end, Bergen passes out, and anytime a woman is sick, she's pregnant, of course. But because being president is so stressful, the baby is at risk, so she decides she resigns to save the life of the fetus. And weirdly, they never mention or show who the vice president is. And it ends with MacMurray's character making a joke about how men are better than women. So,
Do you realize it took 40 million women to get you into the White House and...
Just one man to get me out.
Yeah.
So it is, the Kisses for My President is this kind of mix of progressive in that it's not, Polly Bergen is not the butt of a joke. But we can't end the film with her still being in power, heaven forbid, right? So it's got that mixed. So I'm going to give Kisses for My President 1 thumb up. Someday we'll get there, a woman in the White House. Just don't get pregnant. Or you can get pregnant. I don't care. You know what I care about, though.